Welcome to the Weeb Lounge. And have you ever thought, what would happen if modern day technology, tanks, rockets, grenades, AR-15s came face to face with medieval knights, a little bit of magic, and maybe a few bow and arrows and everything? Who do you think would win? Who do you think would win? That's this anime, Gate, and thus the JSDF Fought There. And yeah, it's pretty much elves, anime, and the army. So what happened in this anime? Well, basically this big old gate archipelago, not archipelago, arch, whatever the heck it is, shows up in the middle of Tokyo, right? And a horde of things come out, start attacking people. Yeah, it's they don't last very long because it's like medieval stuff, like little monsters or something, just kind of, they're pushed back pretty quickly. But you got this gate sitting there. Nobody knows what the heck the gate's sitting there for, why it's there, who put it there, and ain't anybody got a clue. But, army takes precautions, government takes precautions, surrounds it, limits access and everything, and eventually they send the army across into the special region. They call it the special region. Why they call it? It's another world. It's not an isekai anime, but could kind of be like a half isekai anime, I guess. They go into this world and they find out it's basically dragons, monsters, elves, knights, bows and arrows, kingdoms, typical medieval fantasy type deal, right? With a couple of different nuances and such, but you have a modern day army going back into, medieval times. Yeah, that they ain't got terribly much to worry about in all reality. Yeah. But when they go there, they find all these interesting characters. Well, there's one army character that really stands out. He is our main protagonist. That is Yoji Itami. Yoji is... I don't know how the hell he's in the Special Forces. I really don't. They explained it. Okay, and I'm sitting there reading through it and everything. I was like, this guy would never get into Special Forces. There ain't no way in hell. Basically, he's a lazy otaku. And he will do the absolute minimum effort to get anywhere or do anything. But because of his mindset, because of his otaku-ness, I guess, his weebness, he's able to advance in ranks, and he's able to pull off a few oddities here and there that kind of make him special/hero-ish. And he eventually makes himself into Special Forces and then thrown into the special region where he's leading some stuff around and blowing up castles. Oh, man. Okay, I gotta get to the three main female protagonists. I'm going to start off with Elf Girl, Tuca Luna Marcial. I'll just call her Luna. She is an elf that is different from other elves. This elf, is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, busty elf girl. The type of elf girl we all like. I mean, you ain't going to complain about that. But she's a little different. Now, elves are kind of rare in this world, right? But she is exceptionally rare, even among elves. Apparently, she's a smidge more powerful in terms of magic and stuff than your common elf, but also lives much longer than your average elf. So, elves live much longer than humans, and she lives much longer than your typical elf. So, how old she is? I ain't got a damn clue. She looks like she's 16, but for all we know, she could be 16,000 years old. I know she's not, but I'm just saying, she could, who knows? So, typical elf stuff. She's really good with a bow and arrow, lives a long life, very agile, and because she has that little bit of rarity in her, she can command a little bit of wind magic. This wind magic helps out her arrows and everything to shoot faster, further, harder, whatever thing, You put a turbine on the end of an arrow, fire it, you basically got a bullet at that point, That's her. But she does have a little bit of a traumatic past. Apparently, she doesn't like dragons very much. Why? Because her parents and her whole village got burnt down by a red dragon. Just everything's gone. And she got chucked into a well at the last moment. And was pretty much the only survivor. And she was stuck in that well until someone walked by and threw a bucket down there, clobbering in her head, and heard a little cry, and it was like, oh, there's a little elf girl down there. Okay, let's save her and take her away to safety or wherever she went. She went to another elf encampment and stuff. But of course that was traumatizing, and she is a good fighter, but she's not terribly eager to fight, if you know what I mean. Okay, especially when it comes to big old dragon, the same one that burnt the village down. They end up having to encounter that thing, which I'll get to shortly. Let's get to another character. And I want to say this name, Lele La Lalina. A lot of L's there, Lele. I just call her Lele, okay? Short blue-haired girl, basically a wizard, a mage, and kind of a politician too. This girl is somewhat emotionless. I mean, she can keep a straight face when in any situation, right? And she's a really, really good mage, but she's also really intelligent at a point where she can play the political game with the Tokyo elite just as well as anyone. Okay, she can play that game. And she can use that political pull wherever. She can use it for profit. She can use it to enhance her position. She can use it to make everyone in the special region a little bit better. Get special deals, do whatever. I mean, she's basically an envoy at that point. So think it's like a political wizard, but literally both. She's not a political wizard, meaning, she's just really good at politics. She's a political wizard who can cast fireballs and icicles and whatever the heck else. It's actually kind of a cool character. I like it. But the most famous one is Rory Mercury. Now, if you never caught this, Rory her demeanor is that of a gothic Lolita, a lolly. And Rory is basically spelt the same way, using the same characters as Lolly. Lolly, the elves, ours in Japanese, Rory. You see what I'm getting there? Her name is basically Lolly. But you go with Rory, she is like this apostle of death, doom, violence, and destruction, okay? She dresses in the dark gothic Lolita outfit. She looks like a 13 or 14-year-old, even though she's nearly 1,000 years old, okay? She's immortal. She's super powerful, super speedy. She is a master of combat. And she can take on armies herself, more or less, right? She's that damn good, that damn powerful. And she, takes a liking to Itami. Like, very, very much a liking to Itami. And, he's trying to seduce him all the time, basically. Put it that way. She walks around with this massive halberd, right? A huge ass axe that, nobody can lift but her because of the super strength thing. And she just beats the living hell out of anyone that looks at her crossways. I like this character. I really do. Like, for one example, they do travel back and forth between the special region, the fantasy world, and regular old Earth. And she's over in Earth, and like there's some secret special forces trying to like kidnap her and like the others for whatever the hell reason, anime logic. I'm just throwing it out there. And she senses all of them out there. Now the thing is, Rory, she's deadly as hell. She loves combat. Absolutely loves combat. She has bloodlust for this shit. Okay? So she basically, she senses all these people coming, night vision goggles, guns, grenades, all this stuff. She senses them coming and just goes out and murderizes the whole damn lot of them. And the thing is, she gets pure enjoyment out of it. And when she kills somebody, it's basically their soul passes through her body in order to ascend or descend or wherever the heck it goes or whatever. But this has an aphrodisiac effect on her that, the bloodlust turns her on. I mean, it's kind of creepy, but, hey, kill somebody and go fuck, I guess. Ooh. And she's a lolly. I should probably stop right there. Yep. So basically, you have modern day army meeting medieval Europe, more or less. That's pretty much what you have. There's negotiations with different regions and such within the special region itself. And, there's even a conflict that brews with one of the kings. Now, originally, you know, they're trying to make a deal with the king. They want to be peaceful, etc., and everything. But the king gets manipulated, you know, all this political stuff, just whatever, and ends up forming up an army to attack the Japanese forces. How well do you think that goes? For whatever reason, this fantasy army thinks, you know, with a bunch of swords, shields, and maybe a few bow and arrows, that they're going to be able to handle, you know, rocket launchers, grenades, AR-15s, and tanks. I don't know if the Japanese army even lost anyone, to be honest. The king's army just rotted, okay? Just put it that way. And there was also the dragon incident. Now, this is the same dragon that burnt down Luna's village, right, and traumatized her. And they're basically, you know, they find out where this dragon is, they're trying to intercept it, and they're trying to take it down. Well, you know, what grenade launchers, rocket launchers, sniper rifles, all that fun stuff or whatever, dragon put up a little bit of a decent fight, but eventually, dragon go bye-bye. Dragon did. It did. So, this is one of those animes that kind of takes a I don't want to say half-assed in a negative way. It's a half-ass isekai anime where they try to pull that world into the real world and make an actual political sense out of it, right? And that's what makes this anime relatively unique and actually really good, is that they try to take a little bit of a stance in reality. They bring fantasy in through the gate and they try to turn it into reality. Did I do that right? I don't know. But anyways, it's definitely an anime that I would recommend. And with that, like, subscribe, share, whatever button you got in front of you. Growing channel needs to grow. We appreciate every single little button that you push. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.